everybody, we're here with our friend Roger and his truck, and he's got kind of a unique setup that I think a lot of you will show some interest in.
3, 2, 1, action.
So tell us about your truck, the truck itself. What is it?
This is a 2012 Freightliner Cascadia. They call it a CA 125. No reason why they call it that, but that's what it is. It's got a 236-inch wheelbase, DD15 Detroit 15 liter, 560 horse, 1,850 foot-pounds of torque, 10-speed, automated shift, manual transmission, 2-pedal. Push on the throttle, it releases the clutch. Always has the right gear, away you go.
So it is a clutch transmission.
It has a clutch, but it does have a clutch pedal.
Okay, all right.
So it's not a fully automated, it's not an Allison. It's a regular this was an over-the-road truck. It's got 325,000 miles now. Had right at 300,000 when I bought it, which was the reason I was drawn to this truck. It's low mileage and still in warranty.
You've owned this truck for how long?
Bought this truck 2 years ago in April.
Okay.
It took almost a year to get it into this state of build.
So what state was it in when you bought it, when you found it?
It was in the rodeo hauling business, private individual.
So has it ever been an over-the-road truck?
It was an over-the-road truck for the first 75,000 miles.
Okay. So the question that we always get on the road, and I'm going to ask you the same thing, why an HDT?
That's the simplest question to answer. Why not? I bought this truck. Most people think I overpaid for it. I paid $55,000 for this truck in the configuration that it was in.
With how many miles?
With 300,000 miles.
Okay.
I've got a 1-ton truck at home that I used to pull this trailer with that I've got a little over $100,000 in. And yes, it does it. Yes, it does it fine. I had too many white knuckle experiences. Everybody says, well, it's too much truck for the trailer. So just a little side note on that, I left this year to go to Florida down to the Tampa RV show. Got to Houston, Texas to see a friend, and that's when I realized that I pulled my trailer all the way down there with no trailer brakes. I drove on to Jacksonville, Florida so the parts could catch up with me to repair the trailer brakes before I went to Tampa. Would you do that in a 1-ton pickup?
No, sir.
No, you would know the first time you pushed on the brakes, you didn't have any trailer brakes.
Yeah.
It was a surprise to me when I didn't know it. It probably wasn't the smartest thing for all of our people questioning why would you drive without it, because this is used to stopping 80,000 pounds and it's stopping 24,000 pounds. It doesn't know the trailer's back there.
Okay.
In the configuration that this truck and trailer's in right now, I weigh 58,000 pounds wet. And later on we'll discuss what that is, but under this box there's batteries, there's additional water tanks, there's inverters, the actuator for the sliding hitch, the car table. That added weight. We put it on something that was designed to add to weight.
Exactly.
You can't overload this truck with what we're doing. Physically can't do it.
So I've heard a number of people in the HDT community say these are million-mile trucks. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, they're a million mile until there is maintenance repairs done for the next million.
Okay.
Yes, it will completely outlast me.
Okay.
How many miles does an HDTer put on his truck a year? I put 25,000 miles on in 2 years. An over-the-road trucker puts 110,000 miles a year. That's why in 5 years they trade the trucks with 500,000, 600,000 miles, because the warranties are expired. They buy a new truck, let somebody else take the gamble that they can make a living out of the truck at that point forward, you know, in a commercial state. And ours, 500,000 miles, 600,000 miles, 25,000 miles a year. We're looking at one set of tires our lifetime and an oil change a year.
Agreed. And we're only towing 20, 25,000 max usually. Mm-hmm. You know, there might be a few, but for the most part, we're 20,000 pounds.
A prerequisite to this is an unfinished unit you're looking at. I said I've had it 2 years. It's in the build stage still.
But let me before you get in this, let me just tell the viewers that may not know, that are not part of the HDT community. A lot of the owners of these HDT trucks in the RV industry and towing RVs, because as Roger said, we can carry a lot more weight on these trucks than they're designed. Well, they're designed to carry more than we can put on, and so what most people do is put a storage box on the back. They call that a drum box. If you look up the definition of drum box, it has to do with a camel, am I correct?
It's true.
And so it carries extra weight, and so they call it a drum box. It's a storage box, and the designs are infinite.
Endless.
I mean, it's
infinite,
whatever your imagination can come up with. Okay, so that being said, this is his custom drum box.
Yes.
And it's pretty unique, it's pretty impressive, and he's going to share it with us.
Well, as far as I know, it's the first drum box that we overpaid for doors. As I said earlier, I don't like doors. They're always in the way. They swing out, they swing up, they swing down. You bump your head. I've got scars still today. So I went with the fire doors. And that's how hard they are to open.
Wow.
Now, once again, prerequisite, this is not finished, but if you'll look on the side, you'll see a vertical H-track going down, and it goes down each side. That is designed in there so I can have a shelf wherever I want it, if I desire to have a shelf.
Okay.
This side's going to be shelves. The other side, I'm having a custom-made roller cabinet toolbox.
Wow.
And it's going to sit in there so I can put all my tools and organize them. And so they're not in a box and they're not just laying around.
So you've never had moisture inside your boxes with these doors?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
You've got this, as you slid it open and showed us the inside, you've got one of these on each side of the
Absolutely.
truck.
This is mirrored on the other side. It's
Okay.
exactly the same.
Okay. All right. And then down below here?
This right in here is where I store my sewer hose. I call it the Stinky Slinky.
Okay.
And on the other side, it's got a door, and that's where I store the ramps for the car.
Oh, okay.
Because it comes off of that side, so the ramps are on that side. We build a box that went all the way across, so
okay.
we use this as just to carry the hose.
Okay.
So one of my design considerations I had with this is I'm an electrical hog. I leave home, and I want everything that I have at home with me and to be functional. But I have a generator mounted under this frame rail, and to get to the generator for service, these boxes swing out.
So you've got a generator underneath the frame rail.
I got a generator under the frame rail, 12.5 Onan.
Okay.
So I've got the same as plugged in at home. It's 50 amp, 2 legs.
So did you design the generator mount then that you've got?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And it runs off of what? What powers your generator?
It's diesel, and it runs off of the right-hand fuel tank. So in this box, which has the swing open door that I don't like, we have storage, power distribution. So I actually have a power pedestal, just like they have at the RV park. So when I have friends that I travel with, that we want a boondock, they can plug in and utilize all my.
You've got a 50 and 30 amp plug in there.
I do.
And breaker box.
I do.
Wow.
Surprisingly enough, it's the same one we're plugged into back there.
Wow. That's impressive.
So, then it's got a retractable cord reel, so I can actually pull that out and plug in to a power pedestal, feed from the truck to the trailer.
Oh, okay.
So it's just, and charge the solar batteries if we get in a day that we don't have this beautiful bright sun.
Right. Wow, that's impressive.
And just as a side note for everybody, the truck looks low because I dumped the air because I'm still connected to my trailer.
Now, when you say dump the air,
Yeah.
what do you mean by dumping the
Okay,
air?
these trucks ride on airbags.
Okay.
No real leaf springs per se to bend. Rides on air.
Okay.
So you can release the air and she'll drop about 6 inches.
Okay.
and then that brings this down to the ground where it looks like I'm scraping the ground, but that's because we've dropped the air.
Okay, all right.
This box houses the transfer switch
For
the shore power or the generator
okay.
before it goes up to the inverters.
Okay.
This box houses the distribution box for my friends and myself.
Okay.
It also has a converter that converts 110 down to 12 volts. So I charge the battery that I use for my hydraulic unit that starts a generator that is tied to the main battery bank.
Okay.
But it keeps those out at full charge all the time. And it houses the hydraulic pump and the electronics that make all the hydraulics work, which is another unique feature of this.
Okay, so hydraulics for, what are you using the hydraulics
Okay,
for?
well, the car table tilts hydraulically,
Okay.
and I have a wireless remote, or I have a manual remote.
Oh,
So
wow.
I can tilt the car table and put the ramps on it,
Okay.
guide that down with a wireless remote. Once I'm up here, I hit the down, and it's safe to stand on the platform to exit the vehicle
Okay.
and do the tie down.
Okay. And all those hydraulics are built into this box.
All these hydraulics are built into this box.
The other side, on the other side box, what's involved with that one?
It's identical to this box.
Okay.
It swings out.
Okay.
In there I have the storage for my freshwater hoses, my shoring blocks. These are utilitarian. They never lock. Someone needs a garden hose. They haven't tore up a stainless steel door to get it.
So what that does for you in reality then is it allows you to take your pieces of equipment, if you will, your external equipment for your coach, and put them in the truck.
Right.
And that gives you a lot more storage in the coach.
Correct.
And takes weight off of the coach and puts it where the real place it should be is in
Puts
the
it
truck.
on the back of the alpaca instead of in the wagon.
I like that. I like that. Okay. All right.
I do like boondocking a lot, and I love the serenity of it and the ability to go where I want, do what I want. So,
But you can. Let me interrupt you just a sec.
Yes.
So you can boondock with an HDT?
Absolutely.
What?
I've been in places they say this truck won't go safely, comfortably. Been there.
So when people say you got such a big rig, there's no way you can boondock.
That's not true.
All right.
That is, you can only go where your imagination limits you.
I like that. So show us the way.
So, the biggest thing in boondocking is your black tank gets full and your freshwater tank gets empty. And then you have to move this whole thing to dump and fill. So when I designed this, behind this panel, 55-gallon waste tank, and I have a macerator so I can pump my poo into here.
Okay.
And this is a 115-gallon freshwater tank.
115 gallons of fresh water.
Which is 15 gallons more than my tank on my truck holds, or my trailer holds. So I always have adequate supply.
So you're carrying 215 gallons of fresh.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
Wow.
And that's all on the alpaca.
Okay.
Centered on the frame in front of the axle, so I'm balancing my load.
Okay.
In this storage box, and as far as I know, this is just about unique in itself, is,
Oh my gosh.
we're going to call this, you've seen them on the U-Haul little bitty trucks. It's got the little bitty cab over, goes up, Mom's attic.
Yeah.
Well, I promised Mom she could have these shelves when I get them built.
Okay.
So this is Mom's attic.
All right.
So everybody that full-times, and this is my home, everybody that full-times has summer wear and winter wear. And they're usually in the way of each other because these coaches wasn't designed to store every stitch of clothes we see, so we can put them in our containers, get them out of the basement for things that we're going to use on a regular basis, label them, slide them in here. And this whole box was designed around the storage containers that we wanted to use.
So you have your own storage unit in here.
This is a storage unit.
All right. I like it.
So in between the storage unit, I put my first line of defense power supply. And I have 3 solar panels on the truck, I have 16 on the trailer.
Okay, all right. So let me get this straight. 3 panels on the truck itself.
Correct.
How big are your panels?
They're 180 watt panels on the
So
truck.
you've got 400 and, my math's not, 480 watts of solar.
480 watts of solar.
Just on the truck?
Just on the truck.
Okay.
And the reason that I did that, at the time of build, I believe lithium batteries, the price is going to come down, so I bought AGMs.
Okay.
I have 800 amp hours at 24 volts. So that's 16 of these batteries.
Okay.
Or excuse me, that's 8 of these batteries because these are 200 watt batteries.
Okay.
So there's 8 of these batteries stored under here
Okay.
at 155 pounds apiece.
And you got 8 of them.
And I've got 8 of them
Wow.
on the alpaca.
Okay.
Besides losing the storage in the trailer, it was never designed to carry just that weight on the nose of the trailer,
Okay.
much less this weight. So I've got 2 4,000 watt inverters
4,000 watts each.
at 24 volt.
Okay.
These are what we call split phase. So I got 220 going to the trailer because I got a 220 dryer.
You're running a 220 volt dryer in your trailer.
I am. So I'm just like plugged into the park.
Wow. Okay.
So they're split phased. So I have 8,000 watts available on each, or 4,000 on each leg, 8,000 total.
Okay.
So when we're running the dryer, the washer, the microwave, the induction cooktop, and 2 air conditioners. I have 3, but this system will only run 2 air conditioners.
Okay.
I find that adequate. My generator will run, maybe running 1 air conditioner, it'll run twice in a 24-hour period
Okay.
in no sunlight.
And you're running your AC, you say 24 hours?
One AC, 24 hours,
And your generator only comes on twice?
twice.
Wow. Okay.
So in sunlight, I can run, with a charged battery bank, it will run 2 ACs, sun like we have today, and the batteries will never deplete.
Okay.
I have 3,800 watts of solar. The air conditioner cycle on and off, so I never have a 3,800 watt continuous draw or more. So yes, it gets above charge, cycle, she starts filling the battery back up, just like a water tank.
Okay.
This is kind of unique. I don't know, you can see these wires dropping down. There's a trough that goes clear underneath the truck. I'm using that for draw fresh air in.
Okay.
I have a thermostatically controlled fan that when we're going down the road, and we run 1 air conditioner 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, traveling.
Oh.
When I get to where I'm going, open the door, it's cool inside.
Okay.
You know,
I like that.
I don't have to shed all that heat. So it says, hey, we're warm back here. Fan comes on, cools off. These never shut down from over 10.
Okay.
So that was another forethought in this build, is how do we cool all this mess?
Sure. Okay.
So that's about what this box has. It has a shelf here, and then it'll have these shelves
For Mama's attic.
for Mom's attic. And as we discussed off camera, Mom's real adamant about getting her attic going.
I don't blame her. Guys, that is what I consider one of the ultimate boondocking machines in a heavy-duty truck, and I want to thank Roger for his time and his hospitality, showing us his build, his way, and what works for him. It's an amazing, amazing setup, so I want to thank you very much.
Well, Jim, I want to thank you for taking time to show this to the community, because the community doesn't understand why we do it this way.
Right.
And the only way they're going to understand is through continuing education and the thought process of, I never looked at it that way, never thought of it.
Right.
And once again, no one does it the same way. There's not a truck here that's the same. It may have the right badge on the front, but everything else is different.
Yep. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jim.